We're trying to bring the very best and trying to be on the leading edge all of the time. And it's not easy. You can't do it for everything, but we try.
In September of 1985, the University Medical Center heart transplant team, led by Dr. Jack Copeland, moved that edge into the center of the world's spotlight. For the first time in history, a donated human heart had been successfully transplanted into a patient who for over a week had survived using an artificial heart known as the Jarvik 7.
It was just a fantastic thing for us to see a guy who had this plastic heart in his chest, get transplanted, and then go back to normal life for a pretty good period of time.
The patient, 25-year-old Michael Drummond of Phoenix, would live for almost another 5 years. But in 1990, the Jarvik 7 would lose government approval, bringing the artificial heart program to a standstill.
It's going to deprive potentially hundreds of critically ill patients of a chance for life.
In the early 1990s, while the artificial heart program was on hold, Sharon and Rick Loughran were raising 2 sons in Scottsdale. Sharon's heart was being destroyed by a virus she caught in 1989. A few years later, a heart transplant was looming as the only option to save her life. When Sharon Loughran passed through this emergency room in January of 1993, she and her doctors knew she was in serious condition. But no one knew it would be 9 months before she was able to leave and make medical history.
We were going down to Tucson just to do a workup for a possibility of a heart transplant. And that's when it shut down, the whole heart shut down.
Husband Rick remembers the moment everything changed.
So it was one Sunday night, I think it was the 11th of January, and Sharon and I are watching the football games, the playoffs are going on, and all of a sudden she's having a difficult time breathing, needs more oxygen and more oxygen. I went out and let the people on duty know that, maybe we ought to have a doctor come in and see her because something's not right. She's having a difficult time breathing. The next thing I know, she has gone into severe distress, heart distress, and she's got all the equipment in a room over in intensive care. She's now not conscious.
With no human heart available, Dr. Copeland decided the only way to save her life was to implant an artificial heart, one that had never been tried before on a human. For her husband, there was little choice.
Well, the way it was approached, there was no alternative. We have to do this.
The mechanical heart worked, pumping inside Sharon. The operation was a success.
We end up with a total heart failure in the only facility in the United States that's been approved to use the artificial heart. So how lucky could we have been to be right there when everything happens with the team that knows how to address this problem with the only equipment that's been sterilized and ready to go.
Richard Smith is an artificial heart specialist at the medical center.
There is only one artificial heart that is available throughout the world for people to use, and that currently is the CardioWest. Unique about artificial hearts versus other what we call circulatory support devices is that this is made up of 2 pumps. One pump pumps blood to the lungs, so it takes your body's sort of dirty blood and pumps it to your lungs. Once it's in the lungs, it comes back to your heart a second time, and this pump pumps it to your body. It mimics the heart function of needing 2 pumps.
Sharon was hooked up to an air compressor the size of a washing machine. The air it pumped helped the artificial heart send blood through her body. But as she waited for a human heart, there was bad news.
She developed antibodies against practically every possible donor.
Sharon had to wait 6 months for the antibodies to decrease and for a donor heart to be found. Days after a new heart was implanted, Sharon's body rejected it. But gradually, her body accepted her new heart, and against all odds, Sharon was able to leave. After 6 months on an artificial heart, longer than any other patient, her departure was history-making.
I never thought about dying. I had a husband and 2 kids to come up to. I said I couldn't die and leave them. They wouldn't know what to do without me.
Now, more than a year later, Sharon gets to celebrate her son Patrick's 16th birthday at home. It's a present the whole family can treasure.
Life is precious. We now know, we've seen firsthand that it's delicate, but we know that a lot of the major items are in somebody else's hands. So we as a family aren't going to sweat little minor details.